2011 Ultimate Builder Custom Bike Show in Daytona Beach, Florida. We're talking with Tom Kapp, and he's brought us a freestyle bike. Let's take a moment and talk about your background, Tom.
Well, my background was drafting. I started that in 1975, which was a very tough time to get a job as well. And started doing that. I went all the way through engineering and construction, and just decided to do something more fun.
Let's talk about the bike you brought in. We're actually shooting a little different than we normally do. Normally the bike's in front of us. This time we have Tony out there taking photos of Tom's bike. So let's start from the beginning. What are we trying to accomplish with this build?
Well, my wife Christy, who's also my partner in the business, she and I saw a chopper style trike in 2007, right before Christmas. And it had the chrome rear end on it, and we had been talking about doing one. So we sat down and figured out, and about 3 days before Christmas we figured out what we wanted to do, which was build the Little Red Rider tricycle that we see here. At that time it was 2 days before Christmas, like I said, and I went looking for the Little Red Rider tricycle that you buy for kids, and in the 6th store I found it on the top shelf. And then we sat down for the next few days and scaled it and figured out how it was going to be. I drew it all up on CAD, and then I sent it off to Rolling Thunder Frames for them to be able to price it out. And it took me a little while to get them to do that, to even build it for me, because they don't usually build total custom. And so we started getting the frame ready. We went up to V-Twin, got it back. Just as soon as we got back from V-Twin show up in Cincinnati. And on the 4th of March in 2008, I'm sorry, 4th of February of 2008, we started building it. We were done on March 4th of 2008 and brought it to the first show at Orlando Harley. And then we've won lots of prizes with it since.
Let's talk about the fabrication.
Okay.
Let's start at the front end. Let's start with the wheels.
Okay. Well, if you remember the little tricycles, they had wire wheels, but of course they only had like 10 spokes on them. But we decided to go with 100 spoke. So that's an American wire wheel, which is made by Dayton. And the back ones are the knockoff 100 spoke Dayton wheels, so they all match. And we decided to go with the S&S motor.
Let's start with we're at the front end, so we started the wheels. So let's go with the front fork assembly. Okay, front fork assembly is the fat fork assembly from V-Twin Manufacturing. Ted Cycle. Light was from Ted Cycle also. Okay, and now let's look at the handlebars. Okay, handlebars are fat ones from Wild Ones. It goes up to Arlen Ness controls of the beehives that we put on there because they're like the bells on the little tricycle. Okay, very good. The mirrors are they have the lights in them and all that for the directionals and all that. Sure. And came from Badlands. I'm sorry, the Badlands mirrors. And all the controls on the handlebars are all Arlen Ness. Okay. And little grips to make it look like the tricycle actually came from Ted Cycle also. All right, let's move back to, we'll get to the engine as soon as we get back from the seat and the fuel tank. Let's talk about the seat. Okay, the seat also came from V-Twin Manufacturing or Ted Cycles. And how about the tank? And the shock. Now the tank, the original tank design up until close to the end was going to be a modified fender. And no matter what I did drawing it, I couldn't find a way to make it work right. So I thought about the old moon tank that you had on the gassers back in the 60s and 70s. Works well for that. So I put the moon tank on there, tried to have it chromed. It didn't want to chrome very well. So it's the only non-chrome part that's polished. Yeah, but you get to polish a lot of it. No, I get the interns to do that. Now let's go to the engine. You got an S&S engine. Okay, it's an S&S 96 EPA motor because I am a manufacturer, so I put a 17-digit VIN number on, just like Harley Davidson or Honda. So I had to use EPA. It's the bottom of the frame is a regular bagger chassis on the bottom. So it mounts that with a connection of that on the back to hook up the mystery rear end. What about the transmission? Transmission is a, let's see,
That was custom chrome or RevTech. 5-speed because you couldn't put the reverse on the 6-speed. So,
okay.
But it also has reverse.
So you have 5-speed with a reverse.
Right, it's a Champion reverse that's on there.
Okay. Now we'll notice that, just take a break here, that Tony's scared. We'll see that. He's just kind of peeking back through the curtains there at the bike so it doesn't get him.
He wants to blind you is what he's trying to do there. If you want, the back of it has the writing on it for the, you probably have to move that when he's done.
No, we're not.
No? Because that's his name. With little kids blocks.
Let's talk about the paint.
Okay, the paint is a PPG, what do you call it? Candy apple red.
Okay.
Okay, the frame is powder coated and a shining silver. The purpose of the way the paint is done and everything's either chrome, gray, or red is that from a distance it kind of washes out the motor and everything. It kind of looks like the tricycle when you're at a distance. And that was the purpose of all that. I did the chassis. Paul Wong did the fenders and the writing on the fenders. And we've just had a lot of fun with it. There's a whole rack of trophies for it. So.
What companies were instrumental in getting your bike finished?
Well, Exotic Chrome, who's not here anymore, unfortunately, he was chroming stuff for me in a day. And a friend of mine, Mike, that had a CNC machine, was making me parts in a day or less than a day. So that's what made it so I could do the 28 days. Without their help, I would have never been able to do 28 days.
If somebody'd like to get a hold of you, how would they do that?
Well, we're in Kissimmee, Florida. The name of the company is Art in Motion. We're at 1503 Ross Avenue in Kissimmee, which is near the railroad tracks on 192, if you know the area. Phone number, 407-383-3264 is a direct line to me. My name's Tom Kapp. Thank you.
Tom, thank you very much.
Thank you.